moving into next week. I understand that there was a lot of questions. I understand that for many of you, this was new, and I wanted to give you guys an official introduction into the group and teach you exactly how you can get the most from it, because I personally believe that it's a huge opportunity for everyone that really understands exactly what it is they need to do. So let me share the screen so that you guys can see exactly what I can see, and we are going to get straight into the information. Okay, so there's some important questions that I'm going to answer on this call, and then I'm going to go through exactly how you can take advantage of this group. Okay, so first things first, what is this group for? Now, this group is built for active, fast-paced gold scalping. It's not a traditional signals group, and it's not designed to be set and forget. Price moves quickly here on purpose, and the speed is where the opportunity comes from. And for those of you who have experienced this group, you will be able to provide testimony that the profits that you've made have come extremely fast. Typically, these trades are happening within 30 to 60 seconds. Okay, that's the length of time that they are playing out. And that is the beauty in the group. That's why we call it gold scalping. Okay, scalping is typically trades that last a very short space of time, within 1 to 2 minutes. Okay, so why it feels fast? Because of our strategy and the way that we trade, gold often reacts very quickly from our entry points, because we are entering the market at reaction zones or key areas. Waiting for everything to line up perfectly sometimes means that you will miss the move or the opportunity. And with this style of trading, you can expect that price will move very, very fast. Now, I want to touch on utilizing stop losses and take profits. Now, as I mentioned, this is not a traditional signals group, and using fixed stop losses and take profits can work against you in this group. Price can often already make the move before you even have the opportunity to set a take profit or a stop loss. So risk here is managed through different things, such as layering and also one-click trading, which we are going to discuss. So personally, I do not set any take profits or stop losses in the gold scalping group, because price is moving far too quickly. And sometimes it can be a matter of 20 to 30 seconds from when I enter the trade to when I then exit the trade with profit. And trying to set TPs during that time is not going to work, okay? And that's why, coming on to the next point, your trading setup really matters. There are two key features: one-click trading and then bulk operations, which is a part of one-click trading. This is strongly recommended. This will allow you to enter and exit the market without delay when the price is moving fast. Without these tools, managing these zones will become extremely difficult and almost impossible. Okay, so just to write down those key features: one-click trading, which is of course a feature of MetaTrader 5, if it wants to let me do it. Okay, while people are trying to join the call, it won't let me write, which is fine. But one-click trading and bulk operations are two key features which you must use to be able to manage these zones, okay? Now, in terms of layering through the zone, these zones are not designed for a single entry, okay? And by the way, I'm going to go through these key points again. Layering through the zones. These zones are not designed for a single entry. The idea is to build positions gradually as price moves through the zone. And layering will give you a better entry, and it will reduce pressure when the trade moves in your direction, and it will allow you to exit the trade quickly in profit when you are happy. Okay? Now, in terms of taking profit, profits are often taken quickly or in stages. Okay? There are two options. You can close all your positions at one time when you are overall in profit and you are happy with the number, or you have the option to close your profitable positions to reduce the stress on your margin and then hold the remaining positions to target. Okay, now again, I'm going to cover that in more detail throughout the call because it's very important. Banking profit is never wrong. Okay, you are never wrong for taking profit. Regarding the risk, okay, zones highlight areas of interest and not instruction. So you are responsible for managing the lot size. You are responsible for executing the trade, and you are responsible for exiting the trade. Okay, if a zone fails, the trade will be closed and we will move on. Now, that's why closing in one click is also important, not just for profit, but for loss. Okay, because me personally, I don't set a fixed stop loss with the zone. However, if you are new, then yes, I would recommend that you set a fixed stop loss for the zone. Okay, leaving your stop loss blank is highly risky, and it's only for the extremely experienced amongst us. Okay, so if you are new and you don't have as much experience, that's okay. But what I recommend is that you simply set a fixed stop loss. Okay, now is this group right for you? This group is suitable for traders who are comfortable with fast execution and active trade management. If you prefer set and forget, if you prefer fixed targets and fixed stop losses, then you are better sticking to the signals. Okay, now let's go through some more things in detail. Okay, the first thing I mentioned was one-click trading. So let me see if I can try to type. It wasn't letting me before, but I do want to highlight this point. Okay, so one-click trading. So this is just because Zoom is jammed up, because I think there's nearly 3,000 of us on this call, which is great. So one-click trading. Okay, now on your MT5, okay, if you open up your MetaTrader 5, I'm going to see if I can do it on my phone with you guys. Okay, so on this phone, I don't have my trading account. It's a new phone. But on your MT5, okay, I made a video on this in the week. In the top right-hand side, there are two icons. The one on the far right, which is a square shape. You click this to activate one-click trading. What this will enable you to do is open up multiple positions. Okay, now on Friday evening, we got into a trade here. Okay, and this is how the format of the trade looks. We will say sell zone now. Then we will give the entry range. We give an invalid /SL. What does that mean? Now, the reality is no strategy out there carries a fixed stop loss. Okay, it usually requires the 5 or 15-minute candle and the body of that candle to close beyond a certain price. However, we cannot just recommend that you hold a trade for 5 or 15 minutes, especially the way that gold is moving. We've seen that when gold decides to, it can move 2,000 pips in 5 or 15 minutes, which is why we cannot simply say, hold the trade for 5 or 15 minutes to see where it goes. So if you are new and if you have less experience, then we recommend that you use a fixed stop loss. Okay, so in this trade example, 50.34 would be the fixed stop loss. Okay, now for those of you who are a bit more experienced, for those of you who have been around for a while, then you will be more comfortable to manage the trade independently. Okay, so this trade on Friday, 5034 was the stop loss. You can see how close price came to the stop loss. It didn't actually touch it, but you can see how close it came, which is why in certain scenarios, having a fixed stop loss with the zones can actually hurt you. Okay. However, like I said, if you are new, then you should use a fixed stop loss. But the reason we say invalid is because if it breaks this area, this is where the trade would be considered invalid. Okay. Now the sell zone was 50.26 to 50.31. Okay. So let's mark this out. So we have 50.26. Let's type in this entry range. Let's make the entry zone blue. 50.26 to 50.31. Okay. Now, as you guys can see, look how much the 1 minute candle moved. It moved around 60 pips the minute almost we entered the trade. Okay. And this is the reason you can see, look, from 24 all the way to nearly 34, which is 100 pips. And this is the reason why we have a bit more flexibility with these zones, okay? Because if price moves this erratically, it wouldn't make sense to just get tapped out here and hit stop loss for no reason, okay? That's why with the zones, you do have to be a bit more flexible, because look what then happened to the trade. It didn't hit the stop loss and it went all the way down to 5,006, okay? Which is 250 pips profit from the end of the zone, which is 50.31. Okay, now, how would I approach this trade? Now, with the zones, you must layer in order to take advantage and to be able to get good results, okay? So, for example, at least every $2 to $3, which is 25 to 30 pips, I would personally layer, okay? So in this example, I would enter once at 5026. I would enter again at 502850. And I would enter a third and final time at 5031. The distance between your layers is key. You need to try and keep it uniform. That's why I say 20 to 30 pips between each entry. Okay, any closer than that, and you are not taking advantage of enough of the zone. And you will then overlayer if price continues to fill the zone. Okay, now, as price then works its way back down, you have two options. Okay, you have two options. Option number one, with bulk operations, and just bear with me while I'm trying to type this because Zoom is acting weird because there's so many of us here. So bulk operations. Okay, this is really important. When you have more than two positions open, you click over them and you see an option called bulk operations. Okay, now it will then give you options. Option number one is close all. Okay, so you press that button and every position will close at that point in red or blue overall, whatever the number is at the top. Okay, the other option, option number two, see if I can fight with this thing, is close all profitable positions. Close all profitable positions. Now, again, this is for the extremely experienced individuals on the call, but I'm giving you the information so that you have the information. So let's say that price is here. It's working its way back down, okay? Now, at this moment here, let me draw this. At this moment here, okay, let's say that price was here. then this position would be profitable. Okay, so if you click close all profitable positions and price was here, then that position would close. Now, let's say that price was here. Okay, let's say price was here. Now, these two positions would be in profit. If you click close all profitable positions, it would automatically close these two and it would leave the third one running. Okay, or when you see overall profit, then you just click close all and everything will close at that point in profit. Okay, so there are two options. You close all, or you can close all profitable positions. That reduces the stress on the trade, and you have more room to allow the trade to mature and work its way into profit and close when you are happy. Okay, but the reality is when you're in the trade and you're in the heat of the moment, the likelihood is you are just going to want to exit that trade with your profit. Okay, and remember, when it comes to zones, it's not about pips. It's not about target. You know what it's about? Profit. That's it. That's all I'm interested in is profit. I don't care about nothing else. I just want to make profit. That is all. I don't care about 30 pips. I don't care about 50 pips. I don't care about 100 pips. I am here to make profit. That is the key. Okay, so in this scenario, many things were highlighted. You saw how close it came to the stop loss. Okay, but remember, and this is so important to understand, it's up to you whether you use a fixed stop loss or whether you leave the stop loss open and you close it manually. Okay, but for example, let's say the price touches 50.34. We will not be calling that as a stop loss if it then dumps 300 pips. Okay, because if price moved 80 to 90 pips in a 1 minute candle, we're going to give it another 5 to 10 pips because these are zones. Okay, they're not signals. Remember, we're not here for statistics. We are here to grow our capital. And it means that we have to be flexible both ways. Okay, if you are new and if you are unsure, then just put the stop loss in. That's the safest thing to do. Okay, you will never get hurt. You may lose some, but overall, you will win significantly. Okay, if you have experience and you are happy to manage your trade and you are happy to be flexible and manage your position, then you can leave your stop loss blank, but be ready to close all if we say close. Okay, if we say close, close everything immediately with no hesitation. We will make our money back. Remember, we are doing 20 to 25 zones every single day. Okay, so let's just quickly recap the key points of this group because it's very important for us to all understand so that we can move forward and we can make money. Okay, let me just get rid of these. Remove. Okay, perfect. So the gold scalping group. Okay, I want to read this back because I want everyone to be really clear to understand so that we can all make the most amount of money come tomorrow. What is this group for? This group is built for active, fast-paced scalping. It is not a traditional signal service and is not designed to be set and forget. Price moves quickly here on purpose, and that speed is where the opportunity comes from. People are making hundreds of pounds, thousands of pounds within minutes. This is money in minutes, okay? Sometimes the trades are over within a minute. Wouldn't you prefer to just make your money within a few minutes rather than to be stuck in a trade for 30, 40, 50 minutes? I prefer to make money within a few minutes. Why does it feel fast? Because gold reacts extremely quickly at the key zones that we are trading from. We are trading from reaction points. That is why the market reacts when we trade from these key zones. Okay, stop losses and take profits. Using fixed stop losses and take profit targets will often work against you in this group. Price can dip before you have an opportunity to even type your take profit. Okay, price can move before you even have a chance to manually enter these parameters. That is why one-click trading is so important. Your trading setup matters. Bulk closing is the key, okay? There will be times when you've got 6 entries open, suddenly the price drops through the zone, you see a blue number at the top, bam, you click close all, everything closes, you bank your profit, you're out the trade, okay? Very important. Without one-click trading, you are going to struggle with these zones. I had messages from new people, and the messages from the new people sounded something like this. I am not making any money in this group. You are reporting that everyone is winning and I am losing. If that was you, pay attention. If you felt like that this week just gone, pay attention. The reason will be 2 things, okay? 2 key things. Number 1, you are not layering. If you are not layering and you are simply just entering at the beginning of the zone like this, okay? Just this entry here is all you have. When the trade goes 40 to 50 pips into negative and comes back to entry, I am out the trade at entry. I've made my profit in the layers from these 2 entries. They have given me my 30, 40 pips collectively. I am out the trade at entry. But what many people were doing this week, because they were new, okay, they were entering once. The trade went back into drawdown. It then went back towards entry, but their only entry was still in negative. I am out the trade at this point. Then the trade ends up doing that and they lose because they only had 1 entry. Okay, they only had 1 entry. The next key reason that people are losing is because they are waiting for take profit 1, take profit 2, take profit 3. Don't do that, okay? When you see profit, you take it. You can wait if you want, but if it goes against you, then you know why, okay? It's not a surprise. The other key reason why people were losing is because they were trying to set take profit levels, and before anything has even happened, the trade has already gone to that level and you missed it, okay? Use one-click trading and use bulk operations. That is the key, okay? Let me get rid of all this drawing and move across over here. Okay, layering through the zone. Zones are not designed for a single entry like I mentioned. They are designed to build your position. I've just covered this, super important. You must enter at least 3 times, 20 pips apart, following risk management. Don't use your normal order size 3 times because if it goes against you, you will blow your account. If you are used to using, for example, a 0.1, okay? If you are used to using a 0.1, then split your orders up, okay? So if your normal order size, for example, is 0.1, split your orders up. Maybe do 0.03 for the first one, do 0.03 again for the second one, and maybe 0.04 for the third one, okay? When the trade then comes back down and you see a blue number at the top that you are happy with, one-click trading, bulk operations, click close all at once, profit secured, move on to the next, okay? So that brings me on to the next point. Like I said, profits are often taken quickly or in stages. You don't need to catch the full move. You need to be in, you need to be out, you need to take your profit, okay? As you get more experienced and you start to understand the direction of the market and where it's going next and what direction it's moving in, you will be able to hold the trade for 50, 60, 70 pips. For now, the key is to make money, okay? So the final thought is that the zones are working. The issues that people will have comes from the execution. Once your execution is mastered, then you will start to make significant money from this group. I personally made $55,000 in the last 3 weeks from the Zones group. I've been posting it all over my social media. I've been posting it all through different groups. You guys can see that it's real. I have personally made $55,000 in 3 weeks following the zones because I am in and I am out. Okay. Sometimes I get to target 2 or 3 if the market moves quickly, but I am making significant money through the layering. Okay. And when I see a number at the top that I am happy with, I click close all and I am out. We are sending 20 to 25 zones per day. We are averaging around 3 zones a day which fail and 20 plus zones that win. And on average, the winning zones are going 50 to 100 pips. There is huge opportunity here. The key is that you must master your execution. If you master your execution and you understand exactly how to enter these trades, you will make significant money. But one-click trading is the key. You must use one-click trading. You must use bulk operations. Do not try and take profits. It won't work for you. The market moves too quickly. You have to be on it. When we say sell zone now, you need to click sell. When we say buy zone now, you need to click buy. Sometimes we will try to warn you in advance if a potential sell zone is coming, but the reality is the group is moving so quickly, or the market, I should say, is moving so quickly, we don't always have the opportunity. Okay, but this group is working. People are making incredible profit. And like I said, the final thing that I will leave you with is it's down to your execution. One-click trading, bulk operations. Okay, with bulk operations, you close all positions or you close all profitable positions. If you do that, you will make money. All right, so we are going to post some zones overnight and we will continue with the zones in the morning. We are still a copy and paste signals community that will never change, and we will continue to be posting signals in the main signals channel as normal. And it's a very good idea that you pay attention to those signals and you use them in conjunction with the zones because they can really help you. So thank you guys for joining, and I look forward to a great week.